And finally this evening, what should we be watching in Kent cinemas this week? And some have even been filmed right here in the county. Well, let's find out more. Kent Film Club's presenter Chris Deacy joins me in the studio now. Chris, thank you very much for joining me today. Now, the first one I want to talk to you about, it's actually coming out tomorrow in cinemas, Friday the 13th, a bit spooky, and it's about a murder, Buckingham Murders, and filmed in the county.
That's right, in Dover, and also I believe in High Wycombe. So it's a film that is Indian in its derivation, but filmed in Britain and dealing with immigrant experience, dealing with all sorts of questions around a murder and a police detective. Of course, it hasn't come out yet. So I noticed it's showing at a few locations, not yet in Kent. I was a bit disappointed because, of course, it's exactly on my radar, but it is showing at the Cineworld at the O2. It's also showing in Essex.
And do you have any spooky suspicions about watching a film on Friday the 13th? Is it doomed if you watch it on a...
I have literally seen Friday the 13th on Friday the 13th.
Of course you have. Of course you have,
but that was
Chris.
because, yes, exactly. Do you know, it's funny, but it's also, you asked that question, it's almost like watching a Christmas film outside of season. So, you know, and you can do it, but of course you also feel that it feels kind of wrong. You know, everything should be in its place, but we are heading towards the Halloween period. But it's always that liminal thing, isn't it, that space? Because I was in Herne Bay on Tuesday and thought it doesn't feel like summer anymore. So we are literally transitioning, and we will start to see, I'm afraid, we're going to have more horror films as we head towards Halloween. So it is that season.
That season, definitely September brings that about. But some sunshine in the weather forecast there, but some nice crisp autumn weather there. Also, something that's been in the cinemas, Beetlejuice. I'm not saying it any more times than that.
Yes, that's right. I said it twice last week with Mahima. Now, if you know the 1988 original, you know what you're in for. I mean, there are some very daft moments. I mean, when Tim Burton made the first one, he was a fledgling director. He was very creative. And of course, now he's a big name, but he's returning to his roots. The good thing about this is that there's no obvious CGI. You kind of feel that these are real, you know, puppeteers, and it has and mannequins. You kind of feel that everything has been thrown at this, including the kitchen sink. And there's a very bizarre turn when they all start singing along to Richard Harris's version of MacArthur Park, and because I saw more than one film on that day, I thought, am I going to stay awake for this? But it was Tim Burton in full kind of, you know, it's like the pram is full of toys and he's enjoying himself and he's making the sort of films that he wants on his terms, and also nostalgically, of course, he's kind of doing the sort of cinema that you know, he owns that kind of genre. So it was a real delight to watch, and it's a very, you know, bringing back the cast from the original as well, Michael Keaton and obviously Winona Ryder as well.
Very. You could go into so much analysis about that film and about that director as well. Just very quickly, Chris, what else should we be keeping our eyes peeled for this week?
Well, I kind of feel that you've got a lot of the retro films. In the last few days, I've seen various Batman films, including Batman and Robin, pilloried on its release, but it's very entertaining, and some of the Spider-Man films as well. But also looking forward to Lee, which is the film about, you know, with Kate Winslet playing the Second World War Vogue journalist who goes and shoots the war scenes, and a complete, you know, transformative experience.
Amazing. Well, to those superheroes, I'm going to try and to link our next item with that.